Hi, this is Nancy Rolfsma with Quilting with Nancy. I'm excited to announce our third annual retreat is coming up. So the dates, as you just saw, are the end of March. This year a little different. It doesn't cover a weekend. It's actually going to be a Monday through Friday retreat. So let me show you some pictures about the retreat, about the quilt. Oh, and this is the quilt that we will be making. Now there's lots of different options as to whether or not you want to make it just like this or you want to make it smaller. But the idea is that you will learn how to precisely make blocks such as these. You can stick with the easier blocks. You can do the more complicated blocks. All of those are your options. And then we will also do, and you can just barely see it here, we will do some applique. So a fusible applique with some thread painting, which involves a little bit of free motion quilting. Again, lots of options whether or not you want to do it that way or not, but just know that this is where we're kind of gearing towards, and then you kind of build the quilt that you want to quilt with what we have. So first of all, the retreat center. It is a beautiful, beautiful location in Grand Haven. I'll show you a picture of Grand Haven here in a little bit. But just so you see, it is a large space, beautiful lighting throughout, plenty of space for everybody to have their own table, a lot of space for the ironing, and then we have the vendor. Fireside Quilts will be there as our vendor. So this is a look of it, and this is where we do our sewing. This dinner service is actually in another building, but right nearby, just a really, really short walk away. These are the cottages. They are the cutest little cottages, and this is part of the retreat. But keep in mind, if you live in the West Michigan area, you could stay at home and come back and forth for the teaching portion of the retreat. But for those of us that are going to stay there, this is what the cottages look like. Each cottage has a full kitchen, a dining room, a living room with a fireplace and TV, and then there are bedrooms upstairs and downstairs, little different configurations. You can choose which one you want. And this is honestly maybe my favorite part. It's right on beautiful Lake Michigan. I believe it is the most beautiful body of land God ever made, and I love living here in West Michigan. Along with the beach, we get the most gorgeous sunsets. So you just walk right up, not even 100 yards away. You're right there on the beach, overlooking, watching the beautiful sunsets. Now this is the well-known Grand Haven Lighthouse and Pier. This is just so beautiful. We will drive down at some point to see this, the lighthouse and the sunset there, and so that you can see cute little Grand Haven too. This is Grand Haven. It is like perfect mid-Michigan, mid-America. Everything about it is just super cute. It's kind of a little bit of a touristy spot, but not too much. And if you can see on the map, you can see Grand Rapids is less than an hour away from Grand Haven, which is right on the coast of Lake Michigan, so straight across from Milwaukee. Now this is the quilt that technically we will be making. It is a large quilt, so the piecing in it will be nice and fun. You'll be learning a lot of different piecing techniques. But with this retreat, I'm also going to teach you how to do this quilt as you go. So one block at a time, which means the majority of the quilting can be done with straight lines on your sewing machine. You could do all of it with straight lines if you choose to. Now this is a big quilt, as you see, 80 by 90, and I want you to pay close attention to that border, because that border is a limited quantity available from Fireside Quilts. You would want to get your order in with her as soon as possible if this is the colorway and the size that you want to make. You could also make a smaller quilt. Just do some of the blocks, maybe concentrate on the applique. That would be up to you. And you could skip the applique altogether and do a quilt whatever size you wanted in whatever layout that you wanted. Some of you might be a long arm quilter and might be thinking, I don't need a quilt as you go because I've got a big machine that can do that. And that's fine too. You could make it just one quilt top. Now and these are some of the real blocks that I've made. So I'm making mine very scrappy. Except for the blue in the background, everything else is scrappy, using lots of different colors. And these actually are a lot of my painted fabrics. I'll bring some of those to sell, but for the most part, once you pick your background and your border, then you can just go totally scrappy for the rest of the parts of the block. Now here is a look at the applique option that will be part of the pattern that you'll get as part of the retreat. So I've done mine with stargazer lilies, and you can see on the smaller picture there I've done some thread painting. And I want you to know thread painting is the easiest of all free motion quilting. I promise you, you can thread paint on any machine whatsoever. And once you've signed up, you'll get a complete supply list of what you would need to go ahead and do it. Now, if you are not into stargazer lilies, these are the ones that I drew, you could go to zebrapatterns.com. I have done a couple of their different floral appliques. She's got every flower imaginable. Now we wouldn't be able to do just the one flower like it shows here, but we could take the design that you get in the pattern and create a bigger bouquet of flowers, or maybe lots of flowers. You could do whatever you wanted, but if you're looking for more flower options, I recommend Zebra Patterns, but you might have your own applique that you want to use. Now at our retreat, as always, Laura from Fireside Quilts will be our vendor. As I mentioned, she does have some of this border print, but she does not have a lot. So if you decide that you want to come to the retreat and you're thinking this is kind of the colorway that you want to do, not only will you want to sign up as soon as possible because there is limited spacing. We won't let the retreat go bigger than 30 students because we always want to be able to have personal connections with each of our retreaters, and I want to be sure that everybody gets all the instructions that they need. Now this is technically for any skill level. You can be a beginner quilter and you can be an advanced quilter. You can be, whatever you want. I can teach you to do anything, I promise. So below I've got links to the form, the registration form, so you can pick what kind of a room you want. Maybe you're not going to do a room and you want to just do the retreat, but all of that is on the registration form, and then you mail it into our P.O. box, and then we'll get you the supply list and all of that kind of information right after the new year, so you can start collecting the fabrics that you would like to use for your retreat quilt. I really hope you might consider coming to my retreat. I gotta tell you, ask anybody that's ever come and they always have such a good time. We have a good time. We have prizes, we have games, we have a movie night, which is really fun. You just sit and watch a movie on the big screen. We love that. So if you're interested, follow the link below. If you have any questions, you can email me at quiltingwithnancy@gmail.com. I hope to see you at our 3rd annual retreat in Grand Haven.